You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, CBS soap fans. This is SoapDirt.com, and we have got an update. If you watched the latest Bold and the Beautiful, you saw Sheila Carter have a heart attack at Il Giardino, get taken into the hospital, and then flatline. So this has us wondering, is Sheila Carter dead on Bold and the Beautiful? Well, let's dig into it. She flatlined on Friday's episode, and it looks like her doctor is going to let her die. Is the nine-toed menace really dead? Is she dead and gone? Is this the end of Sheila Carter? Is Kimberlin Brown leaving the Bold and the Beautiful? Let's dig in. So on Bold and the Beautiful this week, Sheila Carter was trapped, and now she's facing the consequences of her many, many crimes. Bold and the Beautiful fans finally found out the extent of the sting against her. It turns out there were 3 men working against her. Not only was Ridge Forrester, aka Samurai Sam, working with the FBI, so was his arch rival. Then we know now that both Bill Spencer and Deacon Sharp were all in on the plan. Of course, Bill was doing the heavy lifting because he was the one having to sleep with her, but Deacon was also canoodling with her. So it's not entirely clear at what point Deacon came in on this, but he definitely realized he needed to save his skin, cut ties, and let the cops have her because she's poison to his life. Now, Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the week ahead have only a very brief mention of Sheila. What we do know is that Kimberlin Brown signed a long-term deal with the CBS soap, a multi-year deal. However, she also mentioned that the soap has an option every 3 to 6 months to evaluate based on, I'm sure, storyline, ratings, things like that. So it seems weird to get a 2 or 3 year deal that could be canceled any time in 3 to 6 month increments. So that sounds like a very stressful employment contract, but that, is standard over there. So despite her having a contract, they could kill her off, but it doesn't look likely that they are going to kill her off because she is a great villain, but at the same time, she's also beyond redemption. So that means keeping her long term is problematic, but not insurmountable. So on Friday's show, Finn is freaking out on his mom. Which mom? Well, he's freaking out about one and freaking out on the other. So Finn walks in the room and he sees Sheila in crisis, and he sees his adoptive mother, Lee Finnegan, not providing medical attention. Now, upcoming Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for next week show that Sheila Carter's flatline crisis continues on that episode, with Dr. Lee Finnegan content to stand by and watch her die. But the nurse already alerted Finn that his mother is in the hospital and had a heart attack. So he came running and saw that it's his birth mother, Sheila Carter, that's having the heart attack, and his adoptive mother is on duty. That seems like one of those medical conflict of interest things, like how you're not supposed to do surgery on your own family members, things like that. So despite the evil that Sheila has done, and she's certainly done a lot of it, when Finn looks at her lying on the table, he sees a patient that needs medical care. What his mother sees is a villainess that needs to die. She is not even feeling the weight of that doctor's coat on her. All she sees is the woman that shot her son and then dragged her out of the hospital, tormented her, and then ran her off the road. So it's very easy to understand why Lee Finnegan is reacting the way she is. But at the same time, Finn is a good doctor, and he is a good person, a much better person than he should be given the crappy DNA that he has. So his knee-jerk reaction is to obey his Hippocratic oath and help Sheila like he would any patient. And Finn is horrified that Lee would stand by and watch a patient die without intervening. So Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Monday say that Finn faces a life and death dilemma. Clearly, he must decide if he will save Sheila, the woman who shot him and his wife, Steffy Forrester. And Steffi is in the room watching this all happen. She is kind of like a deer in the headlights, backed up against the wall. She's completely in shock that Sheila is having a heart attack and might be dying. And Steffi might take Lee's side. it'll be interesting to see if Steffi raises her voice and chimes in and says, let her die. The problem is the nurse came in the room and the nurse has the little defibrillator things ready to go. And she's just waiting on the command from the doctor. Will the nurse stand by and watch this patient die? So it's a good thing that it's not up for a vote on Bold and the Beautiful on whether Sheila Carter gets to live or die, because almost everyone would side with Lee Finnegan and say, let her die, let her rot. And then they would get together and do a happy dance on her grave. But it's our guess that Finn is going to hop into action and save his awful biological mother's life. Because in the end, Finn is he's not a bad guy. He's a good guy. And he takes his oath as a doctor very seriously, despite all the damage that Sheila's done on the CBS soap. So if you are an avid Bold and the Beautiful viewer hoping to see the last of Sheila Carter, it's our guess that you shouldn't expect that anytime soon. Instead, we suspect that after she recovers from this coronary attack, that she will make her escape. After all, it is a whole lot easier to sneak out of a hospital than out of a prison, and she's definitely due to be behind bars after the criminal confession she made on camera with the FBI watching and listening. So, if you're asking, will Sheila Carter die on Bold and the Beautiful? Our guess is that she will not. Even worse, we suspect that this medical crisis could open the door for her to make a run for freedom that she does not deserve. What do you think? Check us out over at soapdirt.com for all the latest Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, news, and updates. Be sure and check us out on Spotify or your favorite podcast streaming platform for soapdirt.com's weekly spoilers podcast and updates, and then also come to youtube.com and check us out there for hot spoilers videos and other updates on your favorite soap operas, including Bold and the Beautiful. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.